This video is sponsored by Overland Market, where you buy, sell, and win off-roading and overland gear. Alright guys, what's going on? Another Taco Tuesday for you guys. In today's episode, we have my good friend Juan, aka El Inge. I'm going to be posting his Instagram right here. If you guys want to follow him. Thanks for coming out, dude.
Hey, no problem, dude.
Hey, so history. This is probably one of the first guys I knew in the Tacoma scene. It's crazy to think way back. It seems like a long time ago, huh?
Yeah, like what, a year?
A year. It's really only been a year, but it's crazy, man.
All the meets, all the off-roading.
He used to host a lot of meets out in Pico, and that's literally probably how I met him. I think I followed him on Instagram way back in the day before he followed me, and we ended up meeting up at a meet, which he hosted, and turned out to be a cool cat.
And we'll probably be hosting one soon, together.
Together. So let's see his walk around of his badass TRD off-road.
Alright guys, so we're gonna start with the walk around. In the suspension I have King's 2.5 extended travel coilovers with some Total Chaos upper control arms. I got some VFGs to 33-inch tires with some Stealth Custom Series matte gunmetal wheels. In the front, for my armor, I have Power-Free built, the rare item now, aluminum front bumper with a Power-Free built aluminum skid plate. For lighting, I have Baja Designs Sport, and then for my headlights, I blacked them out through Evo Headlights, local to Norwalk, California. What else? I got my DeMello off-road sliders. Were the first item on my truck. Highly recommend starting with sliders first before going with any kind of other accessory. I got the Meso JDM broken. Side lights, some car went through it, smashed it, I need to get it replaced now. For my roof, I got the Prinsu. In the rear, once again, I have King's 2.5 extended travel shocks with some old man leaf springs, the cars, medium duty. I didn't go heavy just because I can always add it in the future. But for now, I don't really tow anything, carry any weight aside from my rooftop tent that's currently in my garage. Gas is expensive as it is, so I don't need extra weight. Again, matching Power-Free built rear bumper. This one I did go with steel for more protection here. And under the bed cover, I went with the simple design, just carrying a shovel and an axe, and the very needed Toyota Tacoma rubber mat. And right above my bed cover, I do have some KV Voodoo, a great company from New York, aluminum bed bar to carry my rooftop tent. As for the lighting here, on my low beams, I did go with the great company Xenon Depot LEDs. They've been working great for me. I know there's a whole controversial between LEDs and halogens, but LEDs have been very functional for me and at a great price. As you see here, these are not the TRD Pro headlights. These are the stock TRD off-road headlights that were customized by Evo Headlights down in Norwalk, California. Great guy, works from home. I would highly recommend them. Have had no water leakage. Everything's been great. For my fog lights, I did go with Baja Designs. I only went with the sports, because even those with the high lumens, they're unbeatable. When I'm off-roading at night or in high dust, it cuts through the dust. And if you ever get that Prius driver that's just bugging you, man, just flash them at them. They'll get it right out of the way. For my tire and wheel package, I went with VF Goodrich. They haven't failed me since I got the truck. They're on my third set. So not because of usage, but changes of sizes. I went from my standard stock size, then I stepped up to 265s, 75s, and then I went to 285s. Obviously I had to get a cat mount chop to fit these in. All those people on Instagram messaging us, you have to do a cat mount chop, you can't get away from it. Just do it, it's worth it. Especially if you want the looks and you want the extra meat for the off-roading capabilities. For the wheels, I wanted something lightweight, but yet very stylish. So I went with these Stealth Custom Series. These are matte gunmetal. I love them. I won't go with any other wheels. I had some Methods prior, but nothing against Methods, they were great. But just I wanted something a little bit more harder to find out in the streets. And my suspension, like I said, I went with King's. So it was a crazy trial and error kind of thing for me. Being my first truck, I went from having just stock suspension, the TRD off-road suspension, which were Bilsteins. They're decent for the street, but when you want to go off-roading, you need something more progressive and something that can adjust to the different terrains. So I went with Fox. Although Fox, my 2.0s that I had were decent, again, they were almost comparable to the Bilsteins. I did not see a big old difference aside from the great looking stickers that I had. So I had heard about Kings and how great they were. So there was a big difference from all the suspensions I've had to Kings. They have been uncomparable. I have not had any other suspension aside from Fox and the stock ones. But for these, I can adjust the stiffness while being on the road or being off-road, whatever you desire, from softer to stiffer. I forget exactly, I believe there's about 8 to 10 different levels of stiffness. But honestly, they've been uncomparable. I wouldn't go back. And the bling, you know, you have Kings, everyone turns around. It doesn't matter. So honestly, a high part of it was the bling. I wanted the bling on the car, and I was able to, you know, give a good friend a good deal on the Fox, and was able to step over to the Kings. And now I'm Team Blue. Go Dodgers. For the front protection, I went with Palfrey built once again. I just love the design. It's very cool looking. I was looking into them for a while, looking at, you know, weight and functionality as well with the style of it, and it just ties into the angles great. You know, it's super lightweight compared to many other bumpers. It has a section here, a slot for lighting if you ever want to go put in some Baja designs, just like Busted Beat George here. You got, you know, hooks in case you get stuck, and in case you go off-roading alone or often and you want to have a winch, it has a winch port here. For side cap protection, I want something functional but it still look good. There's a lot of sliders out there. I mean, I'm not hitting on any of them, but DeMello Off-Road for me make the most simple yet functional sliders, and they also work as steps for short people like myself to get into the truck. Wouldn't go with anybody else but DeMello Off-Road. So for protection in the rear, I have the Palfrey built steel bumper with the, it still has a hitch. It's hidden now. As you can see, you have full accessibility of it as well. I love it. I mean, I was one of the fortunate ones to be able to get one of these prime rare items. No longer for sale. Hit me up, 3 grand. But yeah, if anyone ever rear ends you, you'll be fully protected. They won't. And for the roof rack, I went with Prinsu Designs. It's a great design. I had looked at it since I first got the truck, and it was very hard initially with the transition of getting purchased by CBI, of getting one in your hands. But I waited the 3 or 4 months. That was the requested time back in the day. I know it's easier now to get. I think it's worth the price, hands down. It's very convenient, very functional when doing long road trips. You can put luggage on top, you can put gas tanks, water ports, whatever you're looking for to carry, you can put on top. Yeah, a little wind resistance, almost no noise. It's a great item. And for the bed bars, like I said, I went with KV Voodoo. They're a company in New York. It was a last minute trip I had with Big Bear where I needed them real last minute. And I contacted everybody, and KV Voodoo was able to ship them to me within 2-3 days. It was just in time. I love them, super lightweight. And since I like to have my bed cover for security, especially when camping, even the truck out at the spot, I can easily take these knobs out. I'm with the easy removal one. And just toss it up, and I'd be able to open the whole cover and use the whole functionality of the bed while having these on. I wouldn't go with anything else. They're super lightweight, like I said. Do the job to keep 2 people in there in the tent. Yeah, they're great. And the bed, obviously I had to go with the bed stiffeners with the bottle opener. These are great, especially if you're off-roading and you start getting some flex in the bed. You don't want that torsion going on, so it asks for extra support, so you won't get any misalignments in the future. I got the Crazy Beaver shovel. I already used it a few times. When getting stuck, sometimes you get some hard terrain, you know, and a regular shovel won't get it done, but a Crazy Beaver shovel with the spikes, it can pretty much break through everything. It's lightweight and it looks cool.
All right, my favorite part about this Taco Tuesday thing, the questions to the owners. So first question to you, what got you into the whole off-roading scene?
First of all, it's my first truck. I went from having a BMW, which I still have, but I don't drive anymore, to a truck. My excuse, and a lot of you are gonna ask, you know, why I went with the 2x4. Those of you that don't know, I went with the 2x4 instead of a 4x4. I was inexperienced. I had no idea I was gonna get into off-roading.
Okay.
So what got me into off-roading? I started joining Tacoma World. Say goodbye to your wallet once you join that. I got in there and some guy saw that I posted a photo in LA, and then he's like, hey, you're one of my first people I know in LA with an off-road edition truck. Let's get together. So we went over to San Diego, some real cool trails down there, and we started hitting them. And I took my wife, she loved it, I loved it, and I got us all started. So then I met the great community of an Instagram page. Most of you guys follow SoCal Tacomas, led by Joe.
Big shout out to Joe.
Big shout out. Great community, great guy. You know, always willing to help everybody in need, and setting up great events with great people that are just very welcoming, and they make you feel part of something if you're not already part of something. And
definitely,
you learn a lot, and it's something, you know, something that makes you connect more with your manly self. I feel like the off-roading and the whole overlanding community.
Awesome. And it's kind of good to have Juan here because he does have a 2x4. I do get a lot of DMs about the functionalities of having a 2x4, and a lot of you guys regret it sometimes, and I'll tell you guys, hey, don't worry about it. The reason why I say don't worry about it is because I've hit up some pretty gnarly trails with this guy here with his 2x4, and he has absolutely no problems.
So initially, like I said, you know, I got it for other reasons and just happened to fall into this great community and fell in love with it. So now I got to deal with what I got. So you have to add the right items, you know, you have to have the right wheels, VF Goodrich. You know, you have to have your sliders for protection, especially if you get stuck, especially if you skid aside, you know, especially with the only rear wheel drive, you might slide a little bit into a rock, into a boulder, and that will protect you. Good suspension, maybe a small lift, at least 2 inches to get more clearance, and a really good skid plate just for protection under the bottom.
Not only that, but some good friends that will pull you out just in case you get stuck, homie.
I've ran maybe about 30 trails in the last year and a half. Not so much as I do a lot of work, but I've been pulled out 2 times. So I'm not embarrassed. At first I was, but then I was like, nah. You know, I can say with the 2-wheel drive, I've done a lot of 4x4 roads. A lot of them are you know, just regular fire roads.
Right.
But there's no problem with that. You know, I do it more. I'm not really trying to total a brand new truck or try to damage it. I just like to enjoy being outdoors.
Yeah.
You know, going and staying in a nice little isolated spot for camping with the wife. You know, maybe go fishing, go drink some beers, go shoot some guns, barbecue on the top. You know,
yeah,
I just want to get out of the city.
Go out and have a good time. Get away from the hustle and bustle and
exactly.
Just relax.
So 2x4 is capable of doing that. Doing obviously some Cleghorn runs. You know, there's always options. You don't have to do the 4x4 trail if you're not comfortable, or if you're only alone. Why even risk it? Yeah. But if you're going with 4x4 friends that you trust, then go for it. And worst case scenario, you just get pulled out.
It's all about the experience.
Exactly.
So out here in California, we're pretty blessed. Up north, there's a lot of stuff to do out there. East, you have like what, Big Bear and all that good stuff.
You got all the good mountains, all the Riverside County people.
So the question for you is, what's your favorite trail?
It would be actually starting from Cleghorn, getting some more little, you know, there's a few technical trails there. So I'll do that crazy, you know, fun stuff there. And then I'll head into I believe it's Silver Lake, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Going around the lake.
Okay.
And ending all the way to Big Bear.
Okay.
So it takes about, on a nice little pace with a nice, you know, 10-person group, about six hours total trip. But you end up at a pizza joint, drinking some beers. It's a nice barbecue chicken pizza.
Damn. So for those of you guys that are trying to hit up a trail, start up in Cleghorn, all the way up to Big Bear.
Big Bear, you might get lucky, get some snow, get some desert, get some trees, some plants. You get to see a bunch of different changes in the landscape for sure.
All right, so I just want to thank Elinke, Juan, for coming down and meeting me up. This guy came on his lunch break. Intense, but thanks, man. Thanks for coming out.
No problem.
And make sure you guys check them out. For all you guys that are watching the channel, thank you guys so much for watching it. Keep in mind, there's going to be a lot of these episodes in the future. Remember, every second week of the month, I'll be posting these videos. So like always, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you guys around and in the next video. Peace.